Ooh, what's going on, my fellow deplorables? It's your boy Kevin. Welcome back to the channel. The NBA has a big problem on its hands, and that is nobody's watching it. The NBA's viewership and ratings are going down the toilet. Is that because the product is inferior to what it used to be? Nope, absolutely not. The NBA's product is good. The players are better than they've ever been. Guys are pulling up from half court and drilling shots from a mile away. It is a fun product to watch. So what is the problem? Why is nobody watching the games? Well, that is because they went woke, and now, you guessed it, they're going broke. Yesterday, we heard from Phil Jackson, the best coach of all time. He coached the 1990 Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. He then went and coached the LA Lakers with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. He has won enough championship rings to cover all 10 of his fingers. He is the best NBA coach of all time. He came out yesterday and absolutely demolished the NBA's decision to go woke. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Do you still watch a lot of basketball or
no? I don't.
Tell me about that. When and did you stop immediately from the time you stopped coaching?
No, I didn't. I watched some of the game evolve and decided, and they went into the lockout year and they did something that was kind of wanky. They did a bubble down in Orlando, and all the teams that could qualify went down there and stayed down there.
No audience.
And they had things on their back like, Justice and, I made a little funny thing like, Justice just went to the basket and Equal Opportunity just knocked him down. And somebody, I had another name for a guy who has jersey in the back of a jersey, had some other slogan. So my grandkids thought that was pretty funny to play up those names. So I couldn't watch that. And the Lakers won, actually. They won that year. And
do you feel like it just made little of the game, like it made it like a sideshow? What do you think it was that turned you off?
Well, it was they even had slogans on the floor, on the baseline. It was catering. It was trying to cater to an audience or trying to bring a certain audience into play. And they didn't know it was turning other people off, People want to see sports as non-political. We've had a lot of different type of players that have gone on to be like, Bill Bradley was a senator, number of baseball players been representatives and senators and political, but their politics stay out of the game.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson is 100% spot on with this statement, and he is catching flack. He is catching heat from the obvious ESPN. All the woke sports commentators are coming after Phil Jackson for making this statement, but he's 100% correct. When we tune in to watch a sporting event, we are not tuning in to be lectured to. We are not tuning in to hear your political opinions. We do not want to be told we are racist and bigots when we watch an NBA game. And when you do that, when you go down that road, you are going to turn off a large majority of your viewers. And that's exactly what happened, and Phil is spot on. Remember Michael Jordan, the true GOAT. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, the absolute true GOAT in the NBA's history. He came out during his playing career, and there was a big Senate race. I believe it was a Senate race. It may have been a House race in North Carolina, his home state. And he was asked to endorse one of the candidates, and he refused to do so. Now, this was the Democratic candidate. So there was a little bit of a uprising around this situation. They asked Michael Jordan, why are you refusing to endorse this candidate? His response will go down in history as one of the greatest apolitical responses of all time. He said, Republicans buy sneakers too. See, Michael Jordan understood. Jordan understood the fact that the NBA was a place that was supposed to be apolitical. It was not a place for social justice activism. It was not a place to express your political opinion. It was a place to bring people together. They wanted to come see Jordan dominate, drop 50 points, and win another championship. Fans didn't give a damn who Michael Jordan was going to support in a Senate campaign. These NBA players today don't get that. They think they are so special. They think they are smart, but they are not. LeBron James is an idiot. Michael Jordan was 100 times smarter than LeBron James will ever be. The NBA cannot get out of its own way, and the ratings are suffering. The NBA All-Star Game this year saw the lowest viewership of all time. And the NBA All-Star Game is supposed to be different than the Pro Bowl, supposed to be different than the MLB All-Star Game. It's supposed to be the showcase of all the NBA superstars, and historically it's done very well in the ratings. But over the last several years, it has tanked. It is plummeting. This year's NBA All-Star Game was the lowest rated and least watched edition of the game of all time. Ratings declined 29% and viewership down 27% from last year's All-Star Game. In just 1 year, ratings declined 29%. The record low audience places the NBA All-Star Game well behind this year's NFL Pro Bowl. And the funny thing is, nobody good plays in the Pro Bowl anymore because they don't want to get hurt. This shows you that viewers, fans, don't give a damn about the NBA because it's went woke, it's gone social justice warrior. All they do is cry racism without any evidence to back up their argument. LeBron James, supposed to be the face of the NBA, is always crying racism. He's always speaking his opinion without facts to back it up. About a year ago, maybe a little more than a year ago, LeBron James came out and said that somebody had painted racist slogans on the front gate of his house. Now, the usual suspects in the media picked up the story and ran with it. They cried foul. They cried racism. Oh, they're attacking LeBron James. These are the ultra MAGA deplorables coming after LeBron James. Well, turns out that the Los Angeles police have investigated this and can find no evidence that this even happened. This could be a fabricated story from LeBron James, who is just trying to garner media attention. Outkick reached out to the Los Angeles police, and they responded, "Good afternoon, and thank you for your inquiry. We have heard no further with regards to that incident, since it happened back in May of this year. I know detectives who are investigating, but no further was provided to us. Usually with something high profile or newsworthy, we are provided follow-up information to give out to the media when it's available. Check back with us." Outkick has covered this story pretty thoroughly, and there is no evidence that this situation ever happened. During the Michael Brown situation in Ferguson, Missouri, LeBron James was all over the place. He was convicting this guy before there was even a trial. And remember the hands up, don't shoot? The NBA would come out wearing t-shirts, wearing warm-up shirts that said hands up. Well, it turns out that never happened. Michael Brown never said that. It was fabricated. It was fake. That was all a fabrication, a lie. It did not happen. And what did LeBron James do? Who is supposed to be the face of the NBA? This is a guy who kids are supposed to look up to. Well, he didn't wait for the facts to come out. He did not wait for the facts to come out. He makes tweets like this: Mike Brown hugging Trayvon Martin, both of which the shooters have been proven not guilty in a court of law. But LeBron James doesn't care about a court of law. He still thinks this is racism. He still thinks there was racial motives behind these shootings, and the court says otherwise. That is why the NBA is losing viewers left and right. He says, my house was vandalized. No evidence. He says Michael Brown was innocent, and the police officer in the Michael Brown shooting, well, he should have been convicted. This hurts my soul, said LeBron James, even though he was just defending himself. But because he's white, it had to be racist. This is the type of stuff that the NBA is pushing on a daily basis. There is still equity painted on baselines in the NBA. Equity. Equity is the biggest BS that is being propagated by the woke liberal agenda pushers. Equity is not given out for free. You have to earn equity. You don't just get equity. When you go buy a house, you buy it with no equity, right? You buy it for the market value, unless you get a good deal on it. You buy it for the market value, and over time, as you go work, make money, and pay down your mortgage, you gain equity. You just don't start with day one having equity. That's not the way the world works. And if the NBA wants to continue to propagate this liberal, woke, nonsense message, then people like me are going to continue to not watch the NBA. LeBron James, LaFraud James, is always tweeting social justice nonsense. In April 2021, he tweeted, "I'm so damn tired of seeing black people killed by police. I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate." Remember, he tweeted out officers' information, an officer who was involved in a police-involved shooting. He goes on to say, "I am so desperate for accountability." Remember the officer, Derek Chauvin, involved in the George Floyd killing? Well, what happened to Derek Chauvin? He's now in prison. He's now in prison, convicted. That is how the justice system works. There's going to be police-involved shootings, and the court system, if that officer did something wrong, handles it, and that person goes to jail. That's the way these things work. We don't need LeBron James, who is supposed to be the face of the NBA, lecturing us and telling us this officer is guilty before the facts are out and before the case has been seen in a court of law. So LeBron James got absolutely decimated after tweeting this. And if you scroll down here, see this guy tweets this article. The actual number of unarmed black shootings and people killed by police in this country is actually extremely low. In 2019, 11 unarmed black men were killed by police in the United States. And that is still 11 people who lost their life. But it is not the type of number, it is not the data that the liberal mainstream media is propagating. Every time there's a black man killed by a white police officer, it makes national headlines. The NBA will paint equity, inclusion, social justice messages on their courts. But it's really not what's happening in this country. This country is not a racist country. If you think this country is racist, you should go see some of the other countries in the world and what they're doing with their people. If you don't think you have freedom in this country, then you need to open your eyes. This country is the most diverse. This country is the most inclusive country in the world. And sure, there is still some racism, but the amount of racism in this country is minute. And for these NBA guys to be propagating lies, to be spreading nonsense, and to be pushing a message that their fans don't agree with is an idiotic business model. And that is why their ratings are in the shitter and nobody is watching these games. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Is Phil Jackson right, or am I wrong? Because I 100% agree with Phil Jackson. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, peace.